Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with great artists, Bad Day. And today I'm going to be talking to you about Eugene Ormandy's worst Rachmaninoff recording. Here it is, the Symphonic Dances. Oh, is this a bow wow of a performance. Now, Ormandy is known for his Rachmaninoff. He was friends with the composer. He conducted concerti that Rachmaninoff played the soloist. He recorded them. His recordings of the symphonies are famous. I mean, he really did some wonderful Rachmaninoff. And the Philadelphia Orchestra was Rachmaninoff's own favorite orchestra. And when he wrote the Symphonic Dances, he really wrote them, or wrote it, if you want to do a collective plural. I mean, nowadays, I don't know what to do with collective nouns. Everything is up in the air. Never mind. Next topic. I digress. Anyway, he wrote the Symphonic Dances with a Philadelphia premiere in mind. Ormandy was not too thrilled with the work. He did conduct the premiere in 1941, but significantly, Ormandy, who was always into making recordings, first recordings of works, did not record the Symphonic Dances back in the day in mono. He recorded them in stereo. Let's see, what year was this? 1963, it would seem, somewhere around there, which was 20 some odd years later. And really because he had nothing else to do, it seems. Now, I have been a major proponent and defender of Ormandy's reputation, and I think that his greatness is indisputable. But he made a ton of recordings, and like everyone who made a ton of recordings, he really recorded too much. Some of them are very good, some of them are less good. But the Rachmaninoff is interesting because you would think that he would really just naturally take to that kind of music. But for some reason, he just didn't. This performance of the Symphonic Dances here in its Essential Classics rendition with Gaieté Parisienne and Smetana's Dances from the Bartered Bride, actually conducted by the Cleveland Orchestra in Zell in the case of the Smetana, you could just hear by comparison how uninteresting the Symphonic Dances are. They were also somewhat dimly recorded. It may be that Ormandy just didn't care. Maybe it was the music's sort of hard-edged modernity or something that didn't appeal to him. I can't even begin to speculate. All I know is that this is really a very uninteresting run-through. It's professional. It's all the notes are in place. The tempos are sensible, but the whole thing, it's as if seen through a veil. It lacks sharpness. It lacks pizzazz. It lacks the bravura that, Ormandy infused into his best performances. The orchestra just sounds like they're going through the motions. And, those are all, by the way, the accusations that are usually aimed at Ormandy, and even the stuff he does extremely well and took a great deal of pains over, as if people can't hear the difference, which to me is rather obvious. And one of the ways to hear the obvious difference, I think, is to listen to this recording of the Symphonic Dances, because the first movement is supposed to have all those accents, da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum-bump, ba-da-dum, chuck, 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 whum, and it's just here, it's all smoothed over. The ending, with all of its brilliance and percussive intensity, it just doesn't seem to count for very much. There doesn't seem to be any excitement in the coda of the finale. I mean, the best movement is the central movement, that luscious, dark, nocturnal, decadent waltz thing, where the strings really get to do their stuff. But even there, Ormandy doesn't really linger over the juicy bits the way he could and stretch out some of the climaxes the way he would in something like the Dance of the Seven Veils or something, and it really got his juices flowing to give it the whole Philadelphia kind of treatment. No, it just isn't here. It was an unfortunate moment for all concerned, and I really think that Ormandy recorded it finally in the early 1960s because he had done all the Rachmaninoff. And he was to remake it, some of the Rachmaninoff stuff when he came to RCA. He redid the Second Symphony and, some other stuff. But it just fascinates me that he waited so long to do this. When he did it, he didn't seem to care. And then he never remade it either. So he never revisited the work. It was just a piece of music that was not congenial to him and which he never should have bothered recording. I think there was a demand back in those days when Philadelphia and Ormandy were the thing to do everything Rachmaninoff did. And the symphonic dances were as good as unknown in the early 1960s. So why not? I mean, he would have the field to himself. But subsequent recordings, subsequent superb recordings have demonstrated just how uninspired this version really is. So there it is, my friends. A bunch of great artists having a bad day. Keep on listening, friends. Take care.